I recently watched a video by Jennifer McGuire where she taught an easy way to make spinner cards, and I was inspired to try her ideas with favorite dies from many of my favorite companies. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Heschek and I made a bunch of spinner cards and I'm sharing them in this die cut crazy video. There's a link to Jennifer's blog post and her video in the description box, as well as links to my blog post with more details on each of the cards I show and to the products featured. I just received Divinity Designs Flower Petal Quilt die and thought it might make a fun spinner card, and it did. So this is the first one I made. You can see I used a debossed die on the background, and then look at this, isn't that fun? That quilted flower spins. To make it, you use a button, and I'm going to show you that, and you have to punch a hole out of whatever it is you want to spin. And so I had this perfect little matching circle here that's also quilted, and I used that on top of that card. Now this is what the die looks like in traditional use. So it's really pretty, but it has this attached square on there, and I just trimmed it off, but I just wanted to show you that's what that die looks like traditionally. I used a new favorite sentiment die here, Sending Paper Hugs, which I thought was very appropriate, and that is from Kat Scrappiness. So here's another version that I made in real pretty peaches and aquas and greens, and I just love that interactive motion that the card spins. Now, as you know, Jennifer McGuire is a very good enabler, and I couldn't resist the Lawn Fawn Snowflake and Fall Circle die she showed in her videos, and so of course I had to get them. And just, this is my favorite. Isn't that fun how that snowflake just spins around? And that is iridescent cardstock there, so it sparkles as well. And my favorite Christmas word, joy. And another pretty background. I love to do the debossed backgrounds, and this one is from Kat Scrappiness. And here's another one that Jennifer McGuire enabled me to get. It's the fall spinner background. So this one spins around, and it has a pretty tailored expressions background there. I got a new circle die from Concord and Ninth, and I paper piece those little pieces in there, and I thought that one might work as well. It doesn't work quite as well because there's really nothing to grab onto as much to spin it. I did put a little stamp there just to let them know that this is an interactive card, Happy Heart Day, with another pretty background there. I love those cards, but I wanted to step it up and make a spinner shaker card, and this is what I came up with. Now all the dies on this card are from Kat Scrappiness, but look at this, isn't this fun? This is a shaker, of course, so it shakes around, but it also spins. So as it spins, the elements inside that ornament spin around too. I have some other pretty dies here, and I'm going to show you how I made that. Let me show you real quickly what I used. I have rainbow snowflakes and pastel snowflake sequins from Kat Scrappiness, and I used that in the shaker and on the card. I have a new die that's called Ornament Strip Cover Plate, and I decided to just use the strip part of that on my card. These are really fun, and I know I'm going to make some more. These are Christmas shaker ornaments. I just used the circle one for now, but there's stars and ovals as well. I love Wonky stitched wavy dies. I just think they add so much to a card, and I use the square ones and then the mini slimline on this card. So here I added the smallest one of the mini slim lines to put a sentiment on, and these squares here were cut, and instead of just being plain squares, they have that wonky wavy stitched. So my favorites. And then I did use some pretty paper from Whimsy Stamps and some Cobalt Velour mirror card from Tonic Studios. So all that blue paper there is that mirror card, very pretty, from Tonic Studios. So here are the pieces that I have ready to go. We're going to make a shaker ornament. I started with a square, larger square card, and I put that ornament strip on the side there, and that's ready to go. The key to making a spinner card is to find a circle die. Punches would work, but most of the time they're in something that won't reach to the center, so you really kind of need a die. This one is from a Karen Berniston set that I found. This circle is the perfect size for this button, so I used that die, and I die cut a circle out of the center of this pattern paper. That's from the same Whimsy Stamps set, but I decided to add some purples in this time with the blues. So I am going to start by using a good strong glue and gluing it down where I have a covering on here. I think I need to poke a hole in that. Let me do that real quick. Haven't used it in a couple days. There we go. So we're going to glue that button down where we want it. Don't want it to touch the paper, but I just use that as a, get that to set up. Now, normally when we were making these other cards, we would simply put the piece that we want to spin down around that button and then cover it up with something, and that was all we needed to do. But I wanted this to be a spinner as well as a shaker. So I had to figure out how could I get that shaker element on top. And what I ended up needing to do was to put some type of cover on that so that piece stays down but is still able to spin. So I need to add a cover or another circle on top of this button that's going to hold that spinner piece down but not stop it from spinning. And again, I need that all to set up. So I think I'll go ahead. I have another sentiment strip. The strip itself, those come from Simon Says Stamp. And this one says, "May all your holiday wishes come true." And again, I use those wonky wavy stitched dies from Kat Scrappiness to add a little interest to that sentiment strip. And that's going to go down here below the shaker element. And I think while that sets up, we'll go ahead and make our ornament shaker. I've cut the back piece out of that pretty pattern paper, and then I cut the ornament itself out with that same paper, added the cover, I mean, you know, the top of the ornament, and then I put a piece of acetate, an acetate circle in there, and then I have raised up the sides to make the shaker well with my favorite Motion Crafts skinny foam strips. So this is ready to go. I'm going to use an EK Success powder tool and just make sure the sides of them and the acetate is not sticking too much. And then I have the pretty snowflakes, the pastel snowflakes, and some glass glitter. I like the color of the snowflakes, but I like to use something like glass sequins or seed beads or something that really move around well inside there. I might have put a little too much in there. That does sometimes happen, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll move really good. Remove the top of this. And then I have pieces up there. And then we want this to, I have some of those sticking. I'm going to try to get them off. Okay. Now secure the back. Press that down. Yeah, they're moving pretty good. There may be a little bit more than what I need, but it's moving pretty good. When you put the exact same size on the back as what's on the front, sometimes a little bit shows on the edge, and that's no problem just to trim that off. Can we see any others? Now I decided that, now see, this will spin, and then I am wanting to put another piece like this and then put this on there, but I'm going to have to raise this piece to make sure that this all spins well. So I took some pieces from a thick Pop Dots, just the edge pieces, and I'm going to raise around here so this piece sticks up far enough and moves. Where's the sticky side? There it is. And I want to remember to put my snowflakes on too. So I have some real pretty teal and purple snowflakes here. So I like this one starting out as a diagonal, and then this one as a square, so you have that contrast. And then, see, the whole thing will move. And then we're going to put this piece on. See, a little more than I need to trim. Oop. Maybe here. Okay. I just have some score tape on the back of this one. So you can see that that's going to, the whole top part there is going to spin around that button. And then we're going to just use some glue dots to add a couple of these pretty colored Snowflake gems. One's going to go there. Oh, that one didn't grab it. So our spinner card is done. Pretty ornament strip there, a nice sentiment. The whole piece here spins around, has a shaker and a spinner. And of course what I'll do is on the inside I'll just make sure that I'll just make a note, by the way, this card is interactive and it will spin and shake for you. May all your holiday wishes come true. I love how this card turned out, and I hope my cards inspire you to give some of these ideas and products a try. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.